Rapunzel. Once upon a time, a man and his wife lived in a small house. More than anything, they wished for a child. Behind their house was a magnificent garden filled with beautiful flowers and herbs. It was surrounded by a high wall and belonged to a powerful sorceress named Dame Gothel. One day, the wife looked into the garden and saw a patch of the most delicious-looking rampion. A great craving for the plant seized her. Day after day, her longing grew. Because she could not have the rampion, she grew pale and sick and refused to eat anything else. Her husband grew terribly worried. "What is wrong, my dear wife?" he asked, sitting by her side. "Oh," she sighed, "if I cannot eat some of that rampion from the garden, I know I shall die." The husband loved his wife so much he could not bear to see her suffer. He decided he would get the rampion for her, no matter the cost. That evening, under the cover of twilight, he climbed the high wall and snuck into the sorceress's garden. He quickly grabbed a handful of rampion and rushed back home. His wife immediately made a salad from the rampion and ate it all. It was the most delicious thing she had ever tasted. But the next day, her craving was 3 times stronger. To have any peace, her husband knew he must return to the garden. So, once again, the man climbed the wall. But this time, as he landed in the garden, he found Dame Gothel standing before him, her eyes flashing with anger. "You may take the rampion," the sorceress said after hearing his story, "but in return, you must give me the child your wife will have." The terrified man agreed. When their baby girl was born, the sorceress appeared, named the child Rapunzel, and took her away. Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child. When she was 12, Dame Gothel locked her away in a tall tower in the forest that had no doors and no stairs. When Dame Gothel wanted to enter the tower, she would stand below and call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!" Rapunzel would then unpin her magnificent long braids and let them fall all the way to the ground, and the sorceress would climb up. One day, a prince was riding through the forest when he heard the most beautiful singing. He followed the sound to the mysterious tower. He returned every day. One afternoon, he hid behind a tree and saw Dame Gothel call to Rapunzel. He watched in amazement as the long, golden hair fell and the sorceress climbed up. The next evening, the prince went to the tower and called in the same way, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!" The hair fell, and he climbed up. Rapunzel was frightened at first, but the prince spoke to her kindly, and they soon fell in love. One day, without thinking, Rapunzel said to the sorceress, "You are so much heavier to pull up than the prince. He is with me in a moment." "You have deceived me," shrieked Dame Gothel. In a rage, she took a pair of scissors and cut off Rapunzel's beautiful hair. Then she banished poor Rapunzel to a lonely desert. That night, the prince called out. Dame Gothel let down the severed braids. When he reached the top, he was horrified. In his despair, he leaped from the tower and was blinded by the thorns below. For years, the blind prince wandered. One day, he heard a familiar voice singing. He followed the sound and found Rapunzel. She wept with joy, and as her tears fell on his eyes, his sight returned. The prince led Rapunzel and their twin children, a boy and a girl, back to his kingdom. They were welcomed with great joy and lived happily ever after.